Hey, what's up, y'all? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, y'all. One last session here to end the week. Let's finish this week strong here. As always, just going to quickly here review the economic calendar for next week. Throw up old Google here. As always, going to come here over to Market Watch, click Economy here at the top, get this U.S. economic calendar here. Had a nice quiet week here, at least from the Fed. But we do have, again here, CPI next week here on Tuesday. Got PPI on Wednesday, as well as this interest rate decision here coming towards the end of the session on Wednesday. And of course, Uncle Powell here will come out and speak as well, so that should definitely shake us up here in the middle of the week. And then the usual jobless claims here on Thursday. So something to keep an eye on here. Definitely keep this in mind as we go into these next couple of days, maybe even today, right? We should have us some decent moves here come Tuesday and Wednesday. Something just to keep in mind as market probably sets up here for these data drops coming next week. So just going to run through this real quick here. ES still stuck in this range, right? 4550 here to 4600 being our range. And again, just another day trapped here in this range, right? So got to continue to be patient here, especially here on a Friday, right? We got 0 days across the board. I believe next week is also quad witching. So we have a heavy week that we're going into. So won't be surprised to see if we maybe just keep this range today and just kind of stay pinned, maybe setting up for next week. Right, we keep talking about that ideally it would be nice if we get a little pullback here and then maybe some good economic data next week and then we crank higher, especially as we try to maybe set up here for a Santa rally, right, that we seem to typically get in December, but of course nothing is guaranteed out here. We had a little bit of data here drop this morning. Had a little bit of a shakeup, but just right back here to this 45.80-ish. This 45.75 has been a big level for us here. And now we have our current point of control up here at 45.72 pretty much as well. So a couple tough levels here, middle of this range between 45.50 and 4600. Again, y'all, be patient, right? Be patient today. Let these trades come to you. And especially here at the open, right? We talk about it all the time and we see it all the time. So much rotation, so much chop. The better moves have been coming, a little bit into the session, right? So let's just be patient here. Let's wait and see. Let the dust settle after the open. And we'll see what's up. NQ, of course, here with a similar look. Right, getting up to the 16,000 here once again, even cracking through it a little bit. But again this morning, dipping back below this 16,000. Right, again, looking like the same kind of range here as we're seeing on ES. And Q a little bit more giving here for us though, right? Coming down and testing this mean here a couple times in the last couple of days. Continuing to hold it though, showing some strength. But at least giving us that pullback here to the mean. And let's see, we're not too far off from a daily Ichimoku cloud top. Actually, would have to get down to about 15,000 now. Might be a heavier ask. But again, not too far off, maybe a couple days worth of work and, some economic data coming here this week, or next week, sorry. So again, just same kind of premise here, right? Got to be patient, let this range break, right? Let's see if we can get under this daily mean or if we can get above this 16,000 here on NQ and see how the rest of tech reacts as well, right? We could see a lot of rotation within tech and ultimately we go nowhere. Won't be surprised at all to see that's the price action we get here later today. YM, a little bit stronger here on the daily Keltners, right? And not surprised to see this as we've gotten a lot of rotation, right? YM has been a little bit stronger here and holding up pretty decent. NQ a little bit lower, coming down and testing this mean, right? Keeping then ES here in the middle somewhere. So again, just kind of screaming the rotation here. I won't be surprised if we see it again here early again in the session today. Got us a couple lower time frame squeezes, probably it's a 4-hour, yep, a 4-hour squeeze here as well. So we've got a nice little range here from our squeeze clouds here, given to us and easy to see here. So just got to keep playing this range until it breaks, right? Or be patient to take any trades until we break out of this range. And just going to go through some names real quick here. Apple, I like Apple here. Pretty strong yesterday and holding up here near this 194. Got up to about 195 yesterday. 195 to the cent actually. And again, a couple attempts here for Apple this week, getting up near this 195, right? Once here on Tuesday, again Wednesday, again yesterday, and now holding pretty decent here pre-market. Really like Apple here. To the upside, if we get some upside, holding up near this 194. Whoops, meant to click weekly here. And still got a little bit more room here to the upside on this weekly chart, right? Up through this 200. So even though we're pretty up here on the Keltners, right, we did have a nice dip already damn near the mean and getting back up. So definitely not looking to short this name, looking pretty strong. Ultimately if the entire market rolls over, going to be hard for Apple to resist to drop with the market, but overall a strong name here like Apple to the upside. AMD, I know a bunch of y'all watching AMD, a couple people specifically here in the chat. And we had a really nice day here from AMD yesterday and pretty good pre-market here, and as you can see here we've got a weekly squeeze top looking like it might fire. These weekly squeeze tops are tricky though, right? This is a weekly squeeze top, so it could take quite a few days to actually fire this thing. Right, we had about a 2 ATR move up for AMD yesterday. Just taking a quick look over here, AMD with an ATR of 4 and some change, right? So we expect about a 4-point move on average from AMD every day. And yesterday here from about, really we got to count it down from down here, 116, little overnight gap, and just kept going. Right, cleared about 12 points here yesterday, so even about a 3 ATR day up from Wednesday's close. Right, so I know we're a little giddy here to see AMD keep going, and I don't want to be a bear here for AMD, but she put in some work yesterday, so wouldn't be surprised at all today to get a little bit of relief from AMD before maybe going higher. Right, but I don't at all want to discount this name continuing to go higher, right? Because I want to point out down here on this weekly chart, right? Just looking at these candles, not so much at the cloud here. AMD's been sideways here pretty much for half the year. Hell, you could even call it the entire year, right? But definitely spending a lot of time here near this 100, 110, right? We've talked about this for months. And finally, something's happening here in the last couple weeks on AMD. So this could definitely keep ripping, right? Especially through this peak here at 132 and some change, right? High of year here. We're not far off from it. So we could definitely smash high of year here for AMD, but again, really strong day yesterday. Won't be surprised to see a pullback here. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear that, but this is just kind of a crazy day here for AMD, right? 2 days back to back of this. Very possible, but kind of tough. All right, we got about a minute here, so I'm just going to go through a couple names here real quick. Amazon, I like both ways, sitting here at the mean, right? Continuing to hold it, though, pretty good. I especially like this to the upside, right? If we can keep holding here and go higher, I love Amazon off of the mean. Google, kind of a piece of trash here as usual, still pretty sideways. Like it either direction here, really. Let's see if this gap down continues down to this mean. It could be a good one to short, especially as Google has been kind of weak here to the upside. Meta coming back yesterday and getting up to this daily mean, right? We're seeing a lot of daily means here, so really giving us some good trades in either direction. Just got to be patient here to see which way we push off the mean, retest maybe, and continue in that direction, right? Whether it be up or down, no idea. Give it some time. Microsoft, same situation, right? Back down here to the mean. Been a really strong name. Not sure if I would short it here at the mean, but obviously a good setup in either direction here at this daily mean. But ultimately, going to depend on the market. Quite a few of these names going to depend on the market. But I do like this for some upside. Really strong run up here for Microsoft. Little pullback to reload. Wouldn't be surprised if we go higher. And just real quick, gonna look at Vidi here and Tesla. Like Vidi here at the mean as well. Let's see if she can get back above and turn it into support and go higher. Might piggyback with AMD a little bit. We'll see. And then Tesla here, last one real quick. Tesla been really strong here, holding up at the daily mean. Right, again here, a lot of daily means across the board. Let's see if we can turn this into support here if we test it again and just keep going higher, right? Tesla been on a nice little run up here since it's been down in these third calendar channels to the downside. Wouldn't be surprised to see Tesla keep holding here, maybe through next week, and then we rip higher. But alright, y'all, let's dive on into this here. Get over to my main screen. And let's see what's good here with this open. Again, y'all, it's Friday, right? We got 0 days across the board. We got a lot of economic data coming up here next week. Be patient today, right? Be patient. I know I say it every single day, but unfortunately, this is this market right now, right? We're kind of just hanging on the whim here of the Fed constantly every week. Interest rate decisions, all these FOMC drops, yada, yada, yada. Big money really just using any excuse here to make moves or to really just pin this market as well, right? When we expect moves to happen. And as usual, big money knows exactly what we prep here every night and every morning, right? Whatever you prep here, they probably already know what you're expecting. So I'm always stressing patience here, especially at the open. And especially while we are in a tough spot here in the market, right? We've just kind of been pinned here in this range for quite a few weeks now, right? Every single day we can be like, oh, today's the day, right? But we really have no idea. Whenever we do break out of this range though, right, we're likely going to have quite a few days of price action in a certain direction out of this range. So let a whole day happen and prove itself if you need that, right? You're going to get good trades after that. But all right, let's see here. Another pretty chill open here for Tick at about negative 600. ADD with a similar look here down near this negative 600. Got VIX open right away here. Just a little bit shy of this 13, kind of in a similar spot to yesterday. I think we opened just a little bit above 13 or right at 13 yesterday. And let's see here, I have NVIDIA up here again. I'm going to flash through a couple names here though. And for SPY here, I've got this 460 call open for today and this 455 put open for today. I know I've been preaching a lot about playing the next day's expiration, and I totally still recommend that. Just feeling pretty good on a Friday here. Let's give these little 0 days a chance here at open. Like in this 460 call here though, opening pretty much right at Beast, down at 20 cents, 30 cents right now. Not a bad one. NVIDIA up to the mean here. Oof, in this 470 call, $1 to $2 and some change here. Obviously a little tough to jump in out the gate, but let's see if they keep holding on to this contract, right? Maybe we get a pullback and give it another go. See everyone here looking closely at AMD, and oof. Yeah, maybe I jinxed you guys. We'll see. We'll see. But again, right after a, what did I say, a 12-point move from Wednesday, right? Big money's got to come and collect on a move like that, right? Not going to just keep ripping here to the upside. But let's see if they give us a nice little dip buy opportunity here. And again, it was a strong move yesterday, so it could be a strong dip before ripping right back up, right? Maybe we get this destination buy zone here on AMD. Ooh, and actually, I didn't update my beasts. Let me do that real quick. Get that mobile version in here for later as well. All right, we good, we good. So again, I'm going to be patient here, right? Been about 5 minutes, not jumping into anything just yet, right? AMD I like here, and I like this dip. Want to see this dip keep coming down, right? Something like 125 would be a great dip for AMD. Coming off of 116 the day before, so this would not really be a heavy ask here to give us a nice little dip buy. Just looking at these contracts here for SPY as well, right? Always trying to gauge some general market direction off of these contracts. We have both of this 460 call and this 455 point sitting at Beast right here, right? So this could point towards a little bit of chop here and rotation this morning, right? Also want you guys to take note of the strikes I'm looking at here as well as the current price action, right? I'm looking at the 460 call and the 455 put here, right? And SPY is sitting here dead middle of these two contracts. So this is a nice even mirror over current price action. Contracts also are about a similar price, Beast at about a similar price, so this should give us a good little hint here in which direction we're going to go with, depending on which contract here holds Beast zone, holds these open levels, and which one of these sides starts to gain value, right? We're going to likely see it here in the contracts a little bit before the equity. Right, they'll start popping this put and we'll start going down. Or vice versa, right? Zoom in on these indices here a little bit. And let's check out what I'm sure is going to be some more rotation here over the next couple of minutes. Oof, those 125s on AMD still 10x. Damn, yep, in the money and holding. So tick coming up, immediately cracking through 0, coming back down to retest it. Let's see if it turns it into support here. Maybe we go higher. But looking like chop chop for now. And again, we've been seeing it pretty much every morning, right? Rotation right at the open. A lot of chop, a lot of back and forth, and we get a move later into the session. Let's see here, let's see. Oof, NVIDIA going higher here, it seems. We jump over there. Oh, AMD, nice bounce back here. Oh, NVIDIA just ripping now through that 470. Really nice pop here off this buck. Really love that level of a buck on any option contract. And even better when it opens at a buck and it's within beast and it's the previous day's open. Damn, really nice level here on this 470 call. Definitely going to keep an eye on this contract. Let's see if we get a pullback. And since this is expiring today, you know, NVIDIA might just need to pull back here to the mean, maybe just pull back to this previous point of control, right? Our open range sell zone right here, and that should get this contract maybe all the way back to this open level, right? Giving us another shot here at about a buck. But getting that little bit of rotation that we've been talking about, right? YM with a little bit of a pullback, NQ with a little bit of a bounce. NQ bouncing a little bit higher here. Yeah, NVIDIA must be still just going. Let me see this thing. Vidi. Up to 3 off a buck right here. Damn. It's still cranking. Baby, come back. Let us in. Let's see here. We got VIX dripping a little bit here under this 13, going a little bit lower, giving us that little bit of upside here in the market. Looking like mostly led by tech here, getting up to the 16,000. Got to be careful here. This is near the top of the range for NQ, right? We kind of got to like 16,050 or so while we were looking here before the bell. So won't be surprised to see NQ possibly roll over around here at this 16,000, right? Let's see if NQ starts to pull back and then they start to pop YM. YM here is not too far off from its current point of control as well as its high from yesterday, right? And then of course we're in a range here, so getting up to this 2 hour and 1 hour, and I know we got a 4 hour up here. Squeeze tops, so again, just playing within this range. So won't be surprised to see NQ possibly pull back here near this 16,000 and YM make a little move, maybe up to this 1 hour and 2 hour squeeze top. And again, just being patient here, right? Not even looking for an entry into anything right now. Just want to let these indices make their initial move. And just collect some data here, right? You know, we're popping here in the indices, but just looking over at our internals, right? Tick here below 0, right? Making little attempts to get up through 0, but for right now, living mostly negative. This might mean possibly that this pop will be short-lived, right? I'm not going to chase calls into such a strong pop off the open, especially on a Friday. Nice rip here though. SPY getting to some squeeze tops here, 30-minute and 1 hour, getting kind of close to yesterday's high as well. And ES getting near the top of this range as well, right? Top of our range here is about 4,600. We're just a couple points off now. And it's early, right? It's been about 15 minutes here. So this is what I want to see, if anything, right? We're getting to a position here where big money has to make a significant decision. Right? Do we crack out of the top of this range here really early into the session, or are we going to roll over here and just maintain this range? Maybe get a little closer here in puts. Right? See if we get this pullback here momentarily. Oops. A little bit of a pullback here. But again, still a couple points off here from 4,600 itself, right? So gonna still be patient here. See if this keeps going higher before we get a roll, right? Or if we break through this range. So just going to come through over here and see how some of our individual names are doing. Apple asleep here, right? Again, you know. They know what we prep, right? They see this and they know that we see this. 1, 2, 3 attempts on 195. I'm sure retail traders are throwing the sink at this thing to break through 195, right? And what do they do here? Nothing. Easy cash for big money here. AMD again, talked about it, right? We're at the top of this weekly squeeze, daily squeeze as well here. Gonna be tough to crack this, especially without the market. Definitely gonna need the market here. Amazon, nice little pop here, coming back a bit, but again, not really going anywhere. Google, little gap down here last night here, and pre-market Little pop to start, but not really going anywhere. Oh, Meta, nice pop here to get back up and fill this gap. Meta looking good here. Let's see if we can turn this daily mean into support here, or if we roll back over and crack back under this 325. Microsoft holding at the daily mean, like that so far, right? Microsoft been a strong name here. Wouldn't be surprised to see Microsoft continue to hold this daily mean here. Netflix still not doing much down here after this pullback, but let's see if she can stay near the daily mean. Maybe rejects it, keeps rolling over. Might depend on the market here. NVDA pulling back a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna have to jump in there. And Tesla still just holding here above the mean. Nice little pop here for Tesla so far though. Getting a little tight on some of these lower time frame squeezes though. Seeing some puts being called out in Beast here. I really like this 457 put. A cheap one too here at about 37 cents. Right, and I don't exactly expect us to break out of this range here just yet, but we could go a little bit higher, so I don't know how I'm feeling about those puts just yet. But we did have a really nice pop and a quick pop here to start. You know, many times we do see such a quick move engulfed right back. And you know what, these babies are cheap, so I'll take a little shot here. We'll just pick up 2 real quick on this 457 put. In here at about 36 cents. Well, let's see what we can get out of this baby. Again, a small position here, right? Looking at about 70 cents. If we do go higher, I have no problem averaging down a little bit. We'll take a little shot here. Had a nice little break above 0 here for tick. Possibly turning 0 into support. Let's see. ADD with a nice little climb here above our beast zone as well. But ES and NQ here struggling so far to go higher. YM continuing to be the stronger index here. A little crack through yesterday's high. Up into this 2-hour squeeze top. 1 hour and 30 minute as well. Starting to roll over here a little bit. Still seeing it in a little bit of rotation here, right? YM trying to hold up here near yesterday's high. And Q pulling back a little bit. And these puts just not really moving, but we'll see. Give it a couple minutes here. NVIDIA, nice pullback here to VWAP and the daily mean. Would love to see it come back just a little bit more. Get this 470 call a little bit cheaper. See how my boys are doing over here on AMD. A little pain here for AMD, but overall still a good hold, right? Again, went up about 12 points yesterday. If anything, I want to pull back here to about 125. We'll see. Come on, baby. Give us this pullback. Let's go. Pulling back a little more. You too, NVIDIA. Come on. Crack under this daily mean. Bring this 470 call back down, baby. Starting to pop a little bit on this 457 put. Nothing too crazy here. Up a couple cents. Nice pullback here for NQ, getting back down to VWAP. Tick breaking back to negative here. Might help our puts out. Just need to see a nice rollover from ADD as well. Maybe get back under our beast zone here and continue to reject. Back down to this 45.86 here. Currently our open on ES and a recent point of control as well. Definitely a tough level here. And not surprised to see us getting a little bounce right there. And again, we've just seen a lot of chop and a lot of rotation here at the open. So I won't be surprised, right, if we just go nowhere here for a little bit, right? So I'm keeping my position size small over here, right? I'm only in 70 bucks on this position. Nothing too crazy. Right, and I'm keeping an eye on the other side as well, right? This 460 call is holding up pretty decent here at our beast zone as well as its open level. But here we go, starting to crack a little bit lower. Nothing too crazy here. Still trying to hold at this 45.86. Tick staying negative for now. ADD coming back and really testing our beast zone. And I like this hold in VIX right here. See if VIX can start to maybe crawl higher, but overall just sideways here on VIX for now. Oh, and looking like we're going to break a little bit lower here. But these calls trying to hold here. And Q breaking a little bit lower, dipping under VWAP here, down to this 5-minute 21. Got this 1 hour squeeze down here. Getting a little bit of a bounce here. NQ with a solid little bounce here. And a big old pop here with this data here from 10 o'clock. Ugh. Of course. Getting a straight rip through, and this is exactly why I kept my position size small here. Right? Immediately taking a lot of heat on this call. But not going to panic here. Let's see if they engulf right back, right? Very typical thing we see, especially at the top of a range. Oh man, seeing a lot of pain here on the couple discords I'm in. Hey, gotta be careful with these economic data drops here. And again, right, like the actual data drop itself might not be that significant, but they're just taking any catalyst, any excuse to just stir up this market, right? But let's see, right? Still early here. Easily could be a head fake pop into the top of this range to then roll over and die, right? Still being patient here, not going to get rattled out of my tiny put position, right? I'm already down here to a couple cents. Not a huge deal. That's why I kept my position size small to begin with. No tears on a Friday here. And we're coming back. We're coming back. It's all good. NVDA with a really nice hold here at our open range sell zone. You know, even though it's called a sell zone, once we get above it, we can turn it into support and catch a bounce at it. Damn. NVIDIA. Little bounce back up here for the market. Oh, and VIX with quite the little flash here to the upside. Interesting. Would have expected it to be downside with this pop here we had to the upside. But a little volatility here, of course, can go in either direction. So a quick burst here, right, either direction should give us that pop in VIX, but came right back. And again, we're at the top of this range, right? It's still early in the session. Will they crack through this and start to fire all these squeezes? It's possible, right? It is Friday. We do see them make some bigger moves on Fridays sometimes. So can't really stress this enough here, right? We are currently looking pretty strong, but at the top of a range, right? A top of a very, very tough range. So whatever trade, you possibly take here is going to be a tough trade, right? There's some good risk reward here to the downside, right, from the top of the range, obviously, because we've rejected here so many times. But also, we've had some stronger price action here so far in this opening 30 minutes, right? So do you short such strong price action and this little trend here to the upside? Kind of tough. Do you play to follow through and break out of this range to the upside, right? Also kind of tough since we just keep rejecting this 4,600 level. Oh, NVDA going a little bit higher here. Damn, this dip to $2, I guess, was the move. And up to 4, damn. NVIDIA, chill, baby. Oh, we're popping higher here. We're popping higher here. Little crack through this 4,600. NQ, nice reach here through yesterday's high. Putting in a fresh high of week as well. But again, just pushing a little bit more into the top of this range, right? Doesn't mean we're going to fully break out here. Oh, Viddy. Gone. Hey, AMD giving some good legs here this morning. Hope my peeps here have been hitting this. Or at least continuing to collect here on these pops from the swings. And again, we're going higher here, and I'm not panicking here on this tiny put, right? I was down already on that initial drop to about these 15 cents, down to 13 cents, popping back up to 15 cents. Just gonna leave this alone, right? This could come back later. But again, I'm not gonna chase longs here into the top of this range until we get a full breakout, right? We want to see this maybe get up through our destination sell zone, come back, maybe retest yesterday's high, and then we'll start to get some confirmation of upside. And obviously it can be frustrating, right, to have such a nice move happen here right at the open, right? Obviously I'm looking at this VIDI call. Jesus Christ, 5-5. Off a buck here. Ugh. You know, it can be very frustrating to sit here and watch this go by you, but it's okay, right? We get these trades over and over again. It's only been about 40 minutes here, so we'll get a shakeup, right? Something else will happen here, and we'll have some good trades pop up for us. We get a lot of FOMO here, especially with such a good move, but again, we still have the entire trading day left, right? We still have a long session ahead of us. Let me turn down my sounds here. I always forget that they're extra loud for you guys. Let's come over here and check out these indices. A little bit more zoomed out and see what we got here. So we still have last week's high here on ES, just a little bit higher. We're about to reach that, right? That definitely gets us here to the absolute top of this range here at about 46.07. So again, we're at a really critical point here. Big money needs to make a decision about what they want the rest of this day to look like. So that's why I keep saying, you know, don't chase this pop here, right? Because this could be ending right here, right? And rolling over. Or we break through, we break out, right? And then we have a nice leg to the upside. Regardless, a good trade is going to come off likely this little zone right here, 4600 to 4607. Let's check out NQ. NQ, of course, been the weaker one of our major indices here in these last couple of days, couple of weeks, right? Talked about it getting down to the mean here. So NQ with a little bit more room to the upside to pop, right? Could still get up through this 16,200-ish top of this range. But again, still within range here. YM, let's see, could be cracking through. Nope, not even YM breaking out of its range yet, and YM has been the stronger of the indices here. A little bit less tough of a range here for YM, right? Obviously been crawling up here as ES and NQ have been a little more sideways. But in this current consolidation, YM still being held within this range. But again, I'm not going to do anything crazy here, right? I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to average down on this either, right? Pretty cheap. If anything, I would move up closer in a strike, but I'm not even going to do that either just yet, right? We've seen a lot of chop in this market, right? A lot of rotation. Today could be the day we get something different, right? Already kind of charging it up, but overall, just not expecting that, right? And again, we're going to get a nice leg out of this little zone. So I'm just going to wait, right? Wait to get some confirmation out of here, because what we could see is what we see all the time, and it's just a lot of consolidation right here at this 4600. right? We've had a nice little leg up here. They did it on some economic data, so caught a lot of people sleeping here, right? Which is how they want to make those moves, right? They want the least amount of people involved here to make a strong move. Now that everyone is paying attention, right, after taking this little jab here, they don't want to do anything, right? People are trying to get repositioned here. They're like, oh, this is going to keep going, or this is going to roll over, right? What do? Nothing. And we're starting to see little tiny signs of that here in this flag, right? A little pop higher and a rejection, a little pop higher, a little rejection. Oh, and Q, making me eat my words here. Popping a little bit higher. Let's see if we get that rejection. Oh, baby, we're getting a team buy right here. YM going a little bit higher too. Maybe we do get this breakout today. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Right, and I ain't mad about it, you know. I'm obviously in 2 tiny little put contracts here, but I don't really care about that, right? We've been in this range for so long. I'm totally rooting for the breakout here to the upside. I don't care if I'm not in it right now, you know. There will be plenty of price action to get into it later. But a break out of the range is definitely what I want to see, whether I'm in it or not. Let's go. Let's go. A team buy here. No rotation. And let's see here. ES up 20 points on the day. YM 132. NQ up 64 points or so here. Plenty left in the tank here to the upside, right? We do have a couple things here that could give us some solid resistance, right? We've been talking about them here this morning. Of course, our destination sell zones, these red zones here from our Beast tool, but also some of these larger time frame squeezes here, this 4-hour squeeze on YM. And still got to get through some of these weekly or last week highs. You're getting a nice little move here so far. Oh, I don't even want to look at this NVDA trade, but let's look at it, I guess. Damn, got up to 6.5 from a buck. Man, tears. That pullback to 2 was the move. Oh, God. That's all right. That's all right. Love to see this market moving at least. Hard drop in the dollar too, helping us out here to the upside. Let's go. But VIX not really doing much here. ADD kind of looking the best here out of our internals, and the dollar here dropping, right? But even tick, not really that much to the upside. Staying positive, but could be in a better looking upside trend. So again, a couple things here just kind of keeping us a little weary about more upside, right? Really pushing the top of this range here. But again, we see big money give us head fakes all the time, right? Really push us to the limit here, and then bam, elevator down, right? Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen right here. But if you are in longs, right, if you are in calls or anything to the upside, remember to trim on your way up, right? If you are in calls or in longs, say down here from this open level, in whatever individual name you're in, you better be trimming here on the way up, right? Because especially here on a Friday, your position will go from very green to 0 to very red real quick. Real quick, right? So you always want to sell into momentum, right? Especially here on a Friday, you know, these little pullbacks here can really, really rip away a lot of premium from your options contracts. So always, if you have multiple contracts, trim into momentum in your direction. But we're starting to get to a lot of destination sell zones here on our beast tool, right? Could be a position here or a spot that we roll over. Just gonna flip through a couple names here. AMD, since you're all screaming it. AMD just kind of holding on here. AMD probably looking better now than some of these other names. With a little more room to play. Apple still just kind of battling with this 195. Don't mind it. Let's see what Tesla's up to over here. Tesla, really nice climb up, but again, got some resistance here. Yesterday's high. Couple lower time frame squeezes, 1 hour, 2 hour. That's definitely a 30-minute right there. So again, just a tough spot here. And it's still very early in the session, right? Can't stress that enough. Very unlikely we just keep going straight up today, right? If you've got some calls, trim them. Trim them while we're still kind of getting tiny pops here. Especially if we start to put in a couple sideways candles here, right? And then we start to dip. Premium is going to be ripped out of those calls so quick. Right, VIX is starting to pop here a little bit. And again, even if it's just a little pullback, right? Don't let yourself suffer through a little pullback on 0-day options, right? Trim that thing. Trim so you can add another if we do get a nice pullback, right? Oh, Meta cranking here, baby. Damn. Back up to this 330 from 322 where we opened. Oh, really nice move. Back to AMD here. Oh, AMD cracking a little bit higher. Microsoft, nice crawl up, right? We were talking about this daily mean. A little hard to see here, but it's tucked into this open level. Really nice open right on the daily mean. Oof. Let's go. And old Netflix. Let's see what Netflix is up to. Okay, a little upside wedge here. Still under the mean though, being held down a little bit. A little bit of a tighter range here for Netflix as well, just about 4 points. And so again, you know, kind of seeing some rotation within tech too, right? A lot of pops here amongst all of our tech names, but definitely a couple individual names really pulling, you know, NQ higher. But again, starting to go a little sideways here at this high from last week and at our destination sell zone on ES. Ooh, a little tiny pop higher here on NQ. A couple individual names here really just taking it and running. Netflix, a little pop higher, nice. I see y'all screaming AMD. Oh, snap AMD, nice move up to 131 here. Yep, J Boss, I couldn't hold it down, my man. Let's go. No, this little W here was a gift, right? Little dip down here to 127. Let's go. Vidi holding up here. Nice, nice, nice. But again, got to be careful here at these levels, right? Little dips, turns into an elevator down. But alright, y'all, I'm going to wrap up my session here a little bit early with y'all today. I will be back in here on Monday. We'll run a little prep here this weekend, likely on Sunday. Yeah, on Sunday. But yeah, I'm going to leave you guys here at the top of this range. Again, just continue to be careful here, right? Individual names giving a little bit more love here at the top of this range. But again, as we sit here, there's got to be a market-wide decision on whether we actually break out of this range or roll back into it, right? The longer we sit here, the more it becomes a lottery, right, in either direction. And it's Friday, right? Don't bag hold these contracts for too long, right? Give it a little shot, stay in there for a couple minutes, collect a little bit of premium if you can, but if it doesn't go in your direction, get out of there, right, and re-enter. Because as we chop, you're going to lose a lot of premium today with 0-day contracts, right? Don't bag hold those things through lunch. You're going to regret it. But all right, y'all, much love. I'll catch y'all this weekend, and I hope everyone has an excellent rest of your trading day, all right? Catch y'all later.